Off you go.
Okay, right. Well, thank you for joining us, everybody. So this is our Year 2 Meet the Team presentation, just to give you a little bit of a feel as to what to expect in Year 2. So you may have seen me before. My name is Mrs. Vyas. I'm head of Year 2. We also have with us this year Miss Roberts.
Hi.
Miss Roberts. And we also have Miss Aiken, who was also in Year 2 last year as well. Now, you may have noticed that our class names have slightly altered. So we're not 2A, 2B and 2C anymore. We are 2JR, 2EV and 2ZA for our initials, just to avoid some confusion there. Now, we also have within our team our amazing teaching assistants. So we have Miss May, who works with Miss Roberts. We have Miss McClett, who works with Miss Aiken. And we have Miss Queenie, who works with myself. We also have lots of faces here for our specialist teachers. Our specialist lessons are obviously still going ahead. The children still see these faces quite regularly. So we have all of our lovely PE team over on the left there. And we also have our Arabic, Islamic, French and music teachers on the right as well. I have popped in the middle there some important emails because we tend to get emails of parents requesting particular email addresses from certain departments. So if you would ever like to get in contact with any of your specialist teachers, those emails are there for you. We also have a new French teacher called Melinda. Unfortunately, I don't have her photograph here, but her email is there for you in the middle there, just in case you would like to contact her as well. Okay, so just moving on now to a sample timetable in Year 2. Very, very similar to what your children were used to in Year 1. Not much has changed other than they do now have French lessons. So our timings are normal now. Obviously, last week we had staggered starts, whereas now we have timings. The registration starts at 7:45 just after the national anthem. We have their first lesson in the morning, and then they have a break time. Obviously, at the moment, it's too hot for them to go outside, so we do have break and snack indoors. Then after break, they have 2 lessons. Sometimes this consists of specialists or sometimes with their class teachers. And then they have lunch, which they have 50 minutes for. Again, too hot to go outside, so they do have their lunch in the classroom as well, but we always provide nice activities for them to relax. And then in the afternoon, they then have 3 lessons. Now, obviously, that is quite a long afternoon for the little ones. In Year 2, they're still very young. So we do also provide them with an opportunity to have a flexi snack. We call it flexi snack because we have to be quite flexible as to when they can have it, because obviously all 3 classes have different timetables, different specialisms at different times. So each teacher will be able to slot in a 10-minute break just so the children can have another little snack, as we're still aware that they're so young, and also we have some children who are on the bus as well, so it's quite a long day for them. So I'll come to breaks in a little bit more detail later on. And here we go, we have timings, drop off and pick up. Now obviously you've noticed probably quite a bit of a difference at the moment with regards to our drop off and pick up. Thank you very much for such a smooth transition to this. We've noticed in the Year 1 and 2 playground, parents are really adhering to the social distancing guidelines and mostly on time as well. I would just like to say though, please, 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 if you can, no late drop-offs and no late collections, as unfortunately we don't have a late room anymore, as the children cannot mix due to obviously COVID. So the children are waiting outside with the teachers if there are any late drop-offs or late collections, and it's not really ideal in this heat at the moment. Just a quick reminder that also on Thursdays it's a slightly earlier pickup, which is at 1 o'clock, whereas on all the other days it's 3 o'clock. And obviously, as you know, the pickup and drop off is on the year 1 and 2 playground currently. Okay, so just coming to attendance. So within our school, it is 96% attendance as a minimum. Please don't send your child to school if they have any fever or cold or flu-like symptoms. And if your child is sick, please contact us as soon as possible. There is a special email here for absences, but please can you copy your class teacher in as well, just so that we are aware of any absences, any issues regarding your children. If you do need to have any leave, there is a particular application that you have to complete. And if you would like any leave applications over the year, if you can get in touch with the same email address, which is absence_work@gems82.com. Okay, and right then, I'm just going to hand over to Miss Aiken, just with regards to uniform.
Okay, so school uniform, very echoey. Full school uniform should be worn every day, including smart black shoes. So we would ask if you could refrain from wearing coloured shoes or trainers during uniform days. It should be smart black shoes with the uniform. Unless the children are having PE, the children should come to school in their full PE kit, and then they can obviously wear their trainers. Their PE kit should correspond with their houses. So for example, if they are in the Pearl house, they should have the white PE kit and so on. So the house colours will tell you which colour PE kit to wear. Hat is essential for when we do go outside on the playground, and make sure that everything has a name in. We do have spare clothing and lost and found, so it's important that everything is named. Otherwise, it's very difficult to find missing hats and so on once they have been misplaced. Mrs. Bias? Thank you. So breaks and lunches. At the moment, as we are grouped by classes, staying only in the classroom, food is eaten in class. So snack and lunch is all eaten within the classroom instead of our usual area of the canteen. So it's important that the children have the food that they need for the day, including a morning snack, lunch, and as Ms. Fias mentioned earlier, a flexi snack if needed. We would like to request that snacks are healthy and avoid nuts or pork and whole grains. Just one thing to note, as the water machines have been taken away, as the children are not to leave the classroom and so on, we would request that enough water is provided for the day so that they don't run out. So maybe pack their normal water bottle and a spare, just so that they've got enough water to last them throughout the day. Sleep, quite self-explanatory. As the children have had such a long time away from the school setting, it's important that they get back into that routine of having an early night and getting enough sleep so that they are ready for the day. I know at the beginning, especially at the beginning of the academic year, it takes them getting used to getting back into the early routine, having an early night so that they're fresh and ready for school the next day. And positive behaviour. So we have lots of different ways of promoting positive behaviour within the classrooms. One of the ways is through the class dojo. So within the class, all of the children will have their own dojo monster, and that again is in the colour of their houses. And throughout the day, when they are showing positive behaviour linked to our wet flower, they receive points or dojos just to encourage that positive behaviour. So we promote skills like reflection, taking risks, being independent, being a good team worker, and thinking critically. And the children know that throughout the day when they are showing these skills, they can earn some class dojos, which will then contribute to their house points as well. At the end of the week, during assembly, we announce the house leaderboards where the teachers upload all of the house points from the week and see which house has earned the most dojos and the most house points. Along with the leaderboard, we also have the WEC Learner of the Week. So during our assembly, one child each week from each class receives the WEC certificate as a reflection of how fabulous they've been during that week. I'll just hand you over to Miss Roberts.
Thank you. Okay, so topics in year 2. So our first topic this year is going to be how could you qualify for the 2021 Olympics? And you can see some of those other topics there that we'll cover throughout the year. Now, on the timetable, you'll notice it's called Connected Curriculum. And what we've done is we've tried to integrate all of the subjects, so history, geography, art and design, design and technology, all together to try and create a fun and exciting topic for the children. We'll also include elements of science in there as well, and also those reading and writing and math skills too. So home learning, so your child hasn't received any home learning just yet. We've given them a couple of weeks free from homework so that they can get used to the new school year. However, our homework will be starting from next week. And usually we would have a home learning book that would be sent home, but as we're not sending things home at the moment, we would like your child to be completing these on Seesaw. So if your child is doing remote learning at the moment, they'll already have access to Seesaw and their QR codes. If they are in school, we will be sending those QR codes home to your email address so that then your child can log on and they'll be able to upload their homework on there. You can see a picture of the home learning menu. So we've got different strands there for English, math, science and connected curriculum, as well as our WEC learner profile challenges as well. The expectation is that the children are able to choose some of their homework. So it isn't just completing lots of different types of things. So you'll notice on there that some of the activities have different chili challenges, meaning that they get a little bit harder and will probably require more time. So if your child is choosing something that might be with 3 red chilies on, it might take a little bit more time than something with 1 chili. So your child might want to choose a couple of those to complete. Spelling homework. So in terms of spelling, at the moment we haven't sent anything home, but these will be sent home shortly, and we're actually going to be focusing on those high frequency words, so those Reggie words, Reggie words, I think that's right. So we'll be practicing those in our English lessons, in our phonics and reading time, and also your child will be expected to learn some of those at home as well, so that we can be tested. And your class teacher will let you know on what day your child will have their spelling test. In terms of reading, so we will be sending home, or your teacher may have already sent home already, the passwords or code for the Epic app, Get Epic. So this is an app you can download on your iPad, or you can even use it just on a laptop as well. And there's a range of different books, fiction, non-fiction, read to me books, where your child is able to log on and have a go at reading a range of these. And our Reading Rockets initiative is going to be linked to that as well. So we can log on to your child's account and see how many books they've been reading, or even how many minutes they've been reading throughout the day. So I know that some of the children that have been doing their online reading at the moment, especially if they've had their library time, have already started to kind of accrue minutes on there already. So these will be sent out to you as soon as possible. Timetable Rockstars. So we haven't currently sent home the Timetable Rockstars usernames and passwords yet, as we haven't been teaching timetables just yet in our maths lessons. However, these will be sent home, and your child will be able to practice their times tables, and they'll be able to earn coins for trying to complete their multiplication tables as fast as possible. If you've got siblings in older years, or you've been here for a while, you will have probably seen last year that children were having competitions. So we have boys versus girls, we have houses, we have teachers versus students, and then there's often a GEMS wide competition as well. So children get to compete with other GEMS schools, and we have competitions are just purely at our school as well. Photo permission. So if we take photos in school, these may be displayed on social media, they might be on our displays around school. I know that you're not able to see those at the moment, but it's great that we can kind of have pictures of your children completing work. They may also be on newsletters. I know that you will have already filled in a permission form to say if you want your child to be photographed or not. Instagram page, if those photos end up on Instagram and you want to follow the account, you can do. And this will be on our newsletter, which will be sent home at the end of the week. So if you want to join our Year 2 Instagram account to see what we've been up to, that would be great. And that last point there, which I did just mention, if your child does not, if your child does not have photo permission, they will not be included. So we will only make sure that those children who have got the permission will be on the social media. Thank you. And communication. So you can see that actually at the Academy we use a range of communication. The main way that you can contact us as teachers is via email. So I know that a lot of you have been trying to contact us via Teams, which is great. However, during the school day, obviously, we're unable to respond to those requests. So if you have got any questions, please do email rather than send them on Teams. And if there is something that you do need to write on Teams, just be mindful that all of the other children can also see that as well. So anything that's directed to the teacher would be great if you could email that. And obviously we will respond as soon as we can, but as you've seen our timetables, we are quite busy during the day teaching your children, so we will respond as soon as we can. If there is something urgent, like a pickup request, then please do make sure you email reception and they will make sure that that message is sent to us as soon as possible. So please, if it's something about your child is going to be picked up by another parent, it is important that if it's after lunchtime, that it would be great if you could email reception as well as emailing us, just in case, so that you've got that backup there in case we haven't read it. Padlets on there as well, so that first one in red. Our communication, for example, our home learning, newsletters and any curriculum links and websites, they'll be on the Padlet, and that has already been sent out to you. There's also sections on there for specialist subjects too, where they'll place their homework as well. D6, now a couple of parents have already mentioned D6. Please make sure if you haven't downloaded D6, please do so. We use it for our whole school communication, so it isn't based on our class information, it is for the whole school. So please make sure that you have included or used that for those communication messages and letters. Face-to-face, now at the moment, unfortunately, those face-to-face chats we are unable to have. I know that kind of in the playgrounds when we're dropping off and picking up, we have kind of had a distanced chat, but if you do need to meet with your child's class teacher about something, then please send an email and we'll try our best to arrange for a meeting with you, and it will have to be via Teams or via Zoom. And we've got our Instagram, Facebook there as well. So like I've said before, if you want to join our Instagram, then please make sure you send us your username after you've joined. We'll send you what the tag is called in the newsletter. Our GEMS Connect app, now those of you who will be familiar with how we send reports and payments and things like that, you will need to make sure you've got the GEMS Connect app to make sure that's downloaded, and the information, the login details you will get from the reception, from the admin team. And that last one on there, another form of communication is via phone call as well. So if we do need to call you for some reason, if something's happened at school, or even just to kind of talk to you about something relating to your child, we will call you as well. So that is that final method of communication on there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Roberts. Thank you, Miss Aitken. So we hope that we have included as much information as possible for you regarding Year 2. Now, what we'll do is we'll pop over now to the chat. If anybody's got any questions that they would like to ask us regarding the Year 2 team, please feel free and we will try our best to answer those. We also have Mr. Waterworth here with us, and we have Mr. Cooper as well. So we'll pop over there. I've also seen that Mr. Cooper said if anybody needs any questions answering.
I think it's that we're okay. What I'll do is if you say goodbye and then I'll stop recording. If people do have questions, then I'll stay on just for a couple of minutes just to check. But we've got one from Jawahar. When is the submission day for homework? When do students have to bring their homework in?
So that will be every Sunday, which is consistent across primary. So we will put the new home learning on a Sunday, and then they will also send it back on a Sunday. But with regards to the home learning menu, the home learning menu is actually over the full topic. So the topic could last 6 weeks. We'll always put a date on this home learning menu so that you know how long that will last. And then your child can choose a challenge each week from that home learning menu and submit it to us on a Sunday.
And then it's just about how spellings will work.
So at the moment, as Miss Roberts said, we will be sending home the high frequency words just as a bit of a catch up from year 1, because obviously they've not been in school for quite a long time. Currently, they are still following the Read, Write, Ink programme. Obviously, it's a slightly different model than what they're used to because they can't stream into other classes at the moment. So at the moment, our online learners have got their pre-recorded sessions, depending on what group they were in. So if they were in grey or yellow or whichever group. And in class, we are also tailoring that to each child's needs as well. So they will also be receiving some spelling tests regarding the groups that they're in.
Super. And then just in terms of parent badges, being processed this week. So if you've not got your badge yet, you should be contacted to come and visit reception to pick up your badges by the end of this week. If not, very latest first thing next week. I know they've all been printed and given the tags and everything. So they're in process at the moment, so they should be done very soon. A few questions just about a few applications. So we've got, so homework, is it submitted online or on paper?
So, sorry, as Ms. Roberts said, so the home learning menu will be on Seesaw. So, because obviously the children can't send books in and out of school at the moment. So the easiest way to do this is over Seesaw. The remote learning children already have their QR codes. The children who are in class, the teachers will get the Seesaw QR codes to them by the end of the week so that they can access their first home learning menu on Sunday.
Thank you very much. And then we're just with Get Epic account and Education City about accessing that too.
Yes, so each teacher has set up an Epic account for their class. I know Miss Aitken and Miss Roberts have already sent those home because those children have already had their library sessions on their timetables. My class have their library session on a Thursday, so the remote learners will be able to access the Epic account on Thursday. And I'll also send it to the rest of the in-class children as well, because we will be using Epic as our reading initiative. Obviously, you're all very familiar with the reading rocket that was in year 1. We continue that into year 2. So the children obviously have to read as many books as they possibly can to reach the top of that rocket. So instead of taking their reading passports home, as obviously we can't do that at the moment, we will be keeping track of how many books they've been reading on Epic.
Super, thank you. And just Education City.
So Education City logons, My Maths logons, all of those will be sent home shortly.
Yeah, and it takes a while to process them just because there's so many different applications that we invest in, and it's all to do with enrolments and making sure, you know, once the class list is set up, it then takes time. It's about prioritising which ones to set up first. So I know priority was Seesaw and Teams and these things, and then we slowly work our way through over the first few weeks of getting all the other academic subscriptions that we invest in, which are really valuable. It just takes a few days to get all the children logged into each one and get all that sent out. But I know they'll be coming out very soon. Brilliant. I think that's all the questions. So I think that's everything. So yeah, you can say goodbye. I've recorded the session, so we'll send that out to all parents who couldn't be here today. But thank you very much for your time on behalf of the primary leadership team of investing your time to just find out what's going on with year 2, what changes are being made, and how we can have a really successful year 2. I'll hand back over to Miss Vices to say bye from her team.
Okay, thank you very, very much for joining us, and we shall see you on the playground, I'm sure.
Thank you very much,
Thank you
Miss.
very much.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye. Bye.